It's been a minute. I want to get right into it. You read the title. Top 10 influencer boxing matches to make that need to happen in 2024. Starting off at number 10, I got Tennessee Trash and Paige Keki too. These two had a decent fight their first night and both want to run it back. According to Mams, this fight was supposed to be on the prime card, but was scrapped because one of the fighters broke their thumb. Now, when we were looking on social media, I think it was Tennessee Trash. She broke her thumb during training camp. Being one of the better the female influencer fighters, and they have genuine beef, I give this chance of this fight happening like an 8 out of 10. On the number 9, got Barbie versus Julie Polka. Julie just, of course, coming out for a win against Vampira. Great performance, looked real strong, looked real like she had a lot of stamina. She ready to go some more rounds, but at the end she started to fade. But she is a good fighter overall. Barbie's a good fighter. And they're both coming off great performances in their last fight. It makes so much sense to have this fight happen next year. Seen clips on Twitter of Barbie now working in a new gym. She's working on counter punching. Julie, she's mainly working on strength and stamina. They both are dedicated to training, so I think the chances of this fight are fairly high. It's not a lot of female influences in their division. I give it like a 7 out of 10 to happening. On to the next fight. Got a good one, man. We got Jarvis versus Austin McBroom. As many of the followers of this scene may already know, these two have history. The story of Austin and Jarvis is a story that consists of dirty boxing business. In 2021, Jarvis fought on Social Gloves and didn't receive his pay, with Austin being the CEO of Social Gloves. There's no reason not to make this fight happen. Jarvis wants revenge, and Austin needs a hot name to build his reputation back up after the embarrassing losses to Gibb. I give this fight a 6 out of 10 chance of happening next year. And the thing about these fights are they're not ranked on the percentages, they're ranked on the popularity. I feel like in general what people want to see in this scene. So number 7, we have FaZe Temper versus JMX. And JMX, man, he every time Temper name was hot on Twitter, he was always calling them out, always trash talking them. But according to Temper, when it was time to actually sign the contract, he declined. And for Temper, this fight would be a nice fight to build his resume. Especially, it would just show his skills to take out a hesitant fighter, which is something he hasn't really done yet. You could say, oh, the short kid that's with Happy Punch. I don't know his name, PJ Overflow. Yeah, but he wasn't really hesitant at all. He was just here on short notice. But besides the point, it'll be a good fight to have on his resume. And for JMX to win in this fight would display his work inside the gym, his dedication in the gym to become a more confident and skillful fighter. It's not going to be easy taking down Temper. He's 6'4". I mean, JMX tall too, but it's always harder to fight a guy at that weight and length. I want to give the likelihood of this fight happening a 4 out of 10. Next up, we have Swarms number 6, Swarms versus Ryan Taylor 2, the rematch. Out of all the beefs in the crossovers boxing scene, this seems to be the most heated. It's real bad blood between these two. And the rematch will be very exciting for us viewers to see. Along with another fighter I'll mention later, Ryan Taylor has trouble with the law at times, so the chance of this fight happening could vary. I give this fight a solid 5 out of 10 to happen next year. The fans definitely want it, but Ryan Taylor, man, he's just a bad boy. Got to stay in trouble with the law. On to number 5, Salt Poppy versus King Kenny. It was actually planned that these two would fight on a big card like the Prime card, but Slim and Salt made more sense. These two are more skilled guys in our scene, and seeing them two fight would be good for both of their careers. I think the likelihood of this fight happening is like a 5 out of 10. I think Salt Poppy will want it more to King Kenny, but King Kenny says he want to focus on his YouTube career more. So that you got to take that into consideration when talking about this fight. So that's why I got it 5 out of 10. All right, on to number 4, got Dean Great versus Adam Saleh. According to Adam, he's the first in line to fight Dean. These two will make a very technical yet unserious fight, as these two guys love to taunt in their matches. They love to showboat. So it'll be fun to watch that. It'll be entertaining in that way too. Both very competitive mindset. They have a competitive mindset. And I think the fight will be a great test for both fighters at this point in their careers, especially. They both have aspirations to fight former UFC champ Jose Aldo sometime in the future. So I think the chances of this fight happening next year is, say, a 7 out of 10 is pretty good. It's pretty high. On to the next, number 3, Ethan Payne versus Joe Weller. The recent online beef has stirred into an actual potential fight. Next year, Joe, man, he's coming off the longest break in YouTube boxing, so his comeback will be interesting to see, especially for the OG fans to see how he improved. Ethan, on the other hand, has a record of taking on fitness challenges, so the dollars will only fuel him to do better on fight night. Both fighters are strong, they're gym rats, so I wouldn't doubt that this fight will have at least one guy have a KO or TKO or score a knockdown. I think the beat behind this fight, the genuine, real, raw beef, it has history. It's not just starting this year. It just reignited this year. I can see it happening next year. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. On to number 2, Deji versus Wasabi 2, the rematch. Deji has gone on a record stating that he wants to right his wrongs in boxing. He wants to fight Wasabi again. His coach wants him to fight Wasabi next. And I think Wasabi's down too. He's been on a podcast saying he'll go back up to 175 to fight KSI or Deji. So his door is open on his end. And then think about it, Deji probably has the most options out of all the misfits. So to give this fight happening, for me to think of what chances of this fight happening, I give it like a 6 out of 10. And on to the last one. Number 1, Slim versus Blueface. Yes, I know people were probably expecting KSI Jake Paul or Logan Paul and someone else, because everyone knows it's going to be a second prime card in the summertime. If you didn't know, now you know. Slim has a pass. In the past, he's entertained the idea to fight Blueface. These two guys have some of the best trash talking in the game. Fight wouldn't disappoint either. So the build up wouldn't be not it wouldn't disappoint in terms of leading up to the fight. I think this fight would be one you don't want to miss. I mean, these guys have big personalities. They're both very confident in and outside of the ring. So we know they're coming to bring it. We know they're coming to not give up, not to back down. It's just gonna be fireworks. That's the perfect way to describe this fight. It's going to be fireworks for sure. I think this fight has, maybe think about it for a long time. I think Blueface's ego and his desire for money, and knowing Slim is definitely developing himself to a star. So I do see this fight happening. I give it an 8 out of 10. And of course, if Blueface doesn't run in trouble with the law, um, he's a bad boy. I mean, he's nothing else to say. So that's pretty much it. These are the 10 fights that need to happen in 2024. Let me know what you think. Let me know which ones you would rather have. And I might make a part 2 to this if the comments are interesting enough to make a video on. But that's pretty much what I came up with. See you guys next time, the next Influencer Boxing Talk.